It says, and in the day, it starts in verse 1, I will say this. This saying, Lord, I will praise you. This saying, God is my salvation. This saying, I will trust you, was said 3 times. It was said 2 times, and it's going to be said eschatologically another time. It was said when they were in the Exodus, when they were going through the Red Sea. They quoted this, God is my salvation. They quoted this as God was delivering out of Egypt. It was also said when they had rebuilt the temple, and they had rebuilt the temple when Ezra had come, and they had rebuilt the temple after they had come out of exile. And thirdly, it will be said when the Jews go through tribulation. I love it. Listen, this is the saddest Thanksgiving moment we've ever had. And I'm looking at all y'all, and I'm looking at the whole church full of blessed people, the whole church full of people who are living and walking and breathing and got family, and you got stuff at home. Listen, you got stuff at home that's cooking. You got stuff at home that's cooking. You got stuff at home that's cooking. You got groceries in the refrigerator. You got to go by the grocery store to buy stuff. You got money to buy stuff. You got a car to drive. You got legs to walk. Am I making sense? And you are sitting in the midst of all of that. With all your family coming to the place and all your friends coming to you. You got family, you got friends, you got food, you got finances, and then you're sitting here like this. And the issue is not whether you got family. The issue is not whether you got food. The issue is what's happening in your head. Am I making sense? What's happening in your head? So now, I want you to understand this. Why is that important? Because expressing thanks, God loves you so much that he understood this. Expressing thanks actually has mental benefits. See, we don't understand this, but being the ability to say thank you has mental and physical benefits. So when God tells you to say thank you, he's telling you to be therapeutic. He's telling you to help yourself. Now notice, God doesn't need any help. God says, I'm good. You the one that's crazy. I'm good. You the one that's tripping. I'm good. You the one that's going through when you ain't going through. He says, so I got to give you a way to get out of you. And and thank you is the one way where you get out of you. Saying thank you actually forces you to have to think about it and appreciate what. It actually pulls you out of your own head. Saying thank you. Somebody say thank you. So, listen, thank you changes my mood. Thank you, psychologically, thank you changes my mood. Thank you thank you actually improves my immunity. When I start saying thank you, my body releases hormones that improve my immunity. So diseases and infections that are trying to get at me, are only a thank you away. So could you imagine you have the right to start healing, or you got the right to stay hurting? And it's all a thank you away. It's just a matter of what you want to do with it. Am I making sense? Making sense? Because your money ain't changed. Your situation ain't changed. Your life ain't changed. Am I making sense? The only thing that's changed is what's happening in your head. Am I making sense? So Thanksgiving is about what's going on where? In your head, because you don't understand this, that the body, behavior, I'm going to say this, behavior, I'm going to say this one more time. Behavior changes biology. Stop thinking that biology changes behavior. Behavior changes biology. Am I saying it right? Behavior changes. And my mother used to say, you better slap. I think you should say, clap your hands and be glad. Some people said other things, but yeah, and get glad. Am I making sense to somebody? I had to put it the right way. I gotta remember I'm being streamed. So this means this. So behavior, if behavior changes biology, that means sometimes I've got to make myself do something different to actually change what's going on the inside. Stop waiting for your inside to change. Change what you're doing, and then what happens is your body is pre-wired not to make you crazy. So your body's going to say, well, I guess if you're moving around and you got all this energy, I guess you must be happy. So then let me give you some hormones that's going to make you happy. But if you're sitting around and you putting on slow music and low music and you looking at sad pictures and you looking at all the bad memories and you thinking about, oh, it's the first Thanksgiving. Oh, it's another sad, sad day. You can take yourself down that rabbit hole and your brain will be like, well, I guess we're going to be sad. So now let me send you some sad hormones. And then next thing you know, you crying, you depressed, and you down. You don't want to get out of bed, everything else. And then you just want to sleep and everything else. Well, what's happening? Nothing changed. Because, listen, with your sad situation, you got, anytime you want to get up, you're going to get up and get your debit card and go get something. So wait a minute. You got a debit card? You got money? You got a bed? You got warm sheets and a soft pillow? Am I making sense? But you are now, you sitting in your warm bed in your lighted place with your soft pillow, with your blanket, with your debit card, sitting there with your phone turned off. Not your cell phone service work, but you turned it off because you decided you're gonna have a bad day. Tell your neighbor, say, don't be dumb. Now understand this. So here's the deal. I am not here to cheerlead you. I'm here to slap you. Because sometimes you need somebody. Wake up. How are you so blessed and so sad? How are you so victorious and so sad? Somebody lost their life today. You living. You are living and breathing. You're walking around and somebody was on their way somewhere and got into an accident and is no longer here. You living and breathing and you sitting around here sad. You are finna, God gave you another 24 hours and you finna use it for mess. So now, Dr. Moody, why does behavior change biology? Because of one word, oxytocin. Oxytocin. Not Oxycontin. Got some addicts in here, that's all right. They're going to get delivered one day. Oxytocin. What is oxytocin, saints of God? Oxytocin is what we call the love hormone, the love drug. It is the thing that makes you feel warm and fuzzy. It's the thing that makes you feel connected. It's the hormone that makes you feel happy and connected. Am I making sense? So now that means this: when thankfulness is directly connected to oxytocin. So when I start thinking about what I'm thankful for, then what happens is my body biologically starts to release oxytocin. When I take a moment to think about all the things, I'm blessed. My life is good. I'm living and breathing. Wow, I have access to this. I have access to that. I'm mad because I'm going home. I'm going home to stream Netflix tomorrow. What a bad day. Streaming Netflix. Wow, poor you. You got access to the internet and you can watch movies all day. Wow, what a terrible life. Poor you. Electricity, warmth, movies, flat screens, and a choice of things to watch. Oh my Lord, poor Hulu. Poor you. Now your life is so bad that tomorrow you ain't gonna do nothing but lay around. When somebody gotta go to work. Somebody has no choice, but you gonna lay around. And now you with your blessed self walking around mad at God, and God is like, what is wrong with you? And when you start thinking about how blessed you are, what happens is biologically, you start releasing that hormone. So I want you to just think about all the things that are right in your life. Tell your mind to go a different place. Think about all the things that are good in your life. Think about all the friends you have. Think about the family that's living. Don't think about the family that's gone. Think about the promises that are in front of you. Think about where you could go. Think about what you could do. And all of a sudden, what happens biologically, oxytocin is starting to kick in. So now God loves you so much. That's why he says be thankful, because being thankful, he's like, I know how I wired you. And I wired you a certain way. So when I start talking about being thankful, Israel, I'm sending God's salvation to you in exile. So if you in exile and the dude named God is salvation comes to you, you should be like, whoa. Am I making sense? He didn't send God is damnation. He could have sent him. But he sent a guy named God is salvation with a message for you. And you sitting there living in Babylon, but living. And he's talking to you about rejoicing. And he's telling you God is salvation. He's telling you his name literally means God's making room for you. So if you thought that God was making room for you, how would you feel? If you thought that God was broadening things, how would you feel? If you thought that God was pushing enemies away, how would you feel? And so God is like, I need you to change how you operate. Why? Because you got the wrong perspective. Tell your neighbor you got the wrong perspective. See, perspective is what we call perspective is this thing that really perspective is really a combination of our beliefs. Cairo, sit down. Perspective is our beliefs, perspective is our attitudes, and perspective is our assumptions. My perspective actually guides my emotional response. So wait a minute. If my perspective is off, it's going to guide my emotional response. And that's going to be off because my perspective is off. If I say be thankful and you say yeah but, your perspective is already off. That's the first sign. Yeah but you don't understand. Yeah but your perspective. So that means you're already if you're on the emotional plane and you are the pilot in the cockpit. And when your perspective is off, just do this. Am I making sense? So tomorrow when you wake up and you start thinking about your perspective and you start going, well, just do this. That's it. So Dr. Moody, where did I get my perspective from? I got my perspective from this. Where did I get it shaped by? Where did it come from? My perspective comes from a couple of places. One is I learned it from people. I learned it from people in my family. I learned it from people I hang out with. So understand this. If you're a negative Nancy, you generally hang out with a negative Ned. So your people are negative and you've learned to be negative. You're around a bunch of people who always talk about how bad it is. You got 17 meats there. And they mad about the macaroni and cheese. You got 17 meats there. You got this, you got that, you got everything sitting around you, and you hot because somebody didn't bring peach cobbler. And the whole dinner messed up. Because you don't understand that your social learning has taught you to aim at the negative. Am I making sense? And so you got to learn you got to say, wait a minute, I've got to get around some different people. I got to find me some happy people to be around. I've got to get around some happy feelings. I got to do something because I'm in the wrong space. Everything else. Now the Bible, listen, the Word of God is the only thing that can transform your life. But your problem is you haven't been transformed. You're just being conformed. You're doing what your mama and them did, what your auntie does, and everything else. So social learning, then also your cognitive development. Now, cognitive development is a funny thing because people theorize that as you get more mature, you're supposed to be able to look at the world in its complexities. As you get more mature, you're supposed to think deeper. All right? Now, that's a theory. I want to know, I ain't really seen that a lot. I see people get stuck. I see people are stuck. And you get stuck in your system. And your system blocks your cognitive development. Because your system says, your cognitive development says, I could learn more. And your system says, if you don't get down from there, you know we sad people. If you don't get out of there, you know we angry people. And well, I was looking and I was reading and I saw and I'm getting a little older now. And do we have to fight every Thanksgiving? Because I was just thinking, is it necessary? And I don't even know why we fighting anymore. I just start swinging at the table at some point. We just go off, and this thing, you know, it's just stuff starts flying. And I haven't even figured out yet, wait a minute, it's about 3 o'clock. The drink's been going for about 4 or 5 hours. People starting to talk loud, and people starting to tell you how they feel, and starting to reminisce. So drinks, reminiscing, how you feel. That generally means fight. Dominoes going, noise is talking, game on. The Cowboys suck. You don't talk about the Cowboys. They suck. All kind of foolishness is happening, right? And you're not mature enough to figure out, hey, this probably not gonna go well. And I've been around this for 29 years, and it's headed down this. But I'm going to keep going to this event, and I'm going to go all the way to the fight. And then because it's going to be Thursday fight night or Friday fight night. Then I'm going to be sad all day Saturday, crying about the fight that I knew was coming. I knew it was going to happen because I could see it. So I don't know about this cognitive development thing. That's theory. It sounds good, but I don't know. I just put the facts up there for you. I don't got to believe all this. No, I'm just playing. So social learning, cognitive development, and then cultural norms. Cultural norms, which means that we, whoever we are, your culture, it could be your race, it could be your people or whatever else. It could be the Browns, it could be the Moody's, it could be what the Englishes, whatever else. We believe certain things, and so because of our culture, we have certain things that certain biases that we do. Because of my culture, there's certain things that I believe, and a bias is nothing more than a cheap shortcut.
Thank you for worshiping with us today. If you liked this message, you can find the rest at cmllcstore.com. We invite you to join us again for our extraordinary worship services every Sunday at 10:30 a.m., Sundays at 4 p.m., and Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Central, where Dr. Moody teaches how to understand the Bible, and you can get all your biblical questions answered. We look forward to connecting with you. We ask that you subscribe to The Rock ATX on YouTube and follow The Rock ATX on Facebook and Instagram to stay connected to all The Rock is doing. You can also get connected on our website at therockatx.org. Again, thank you for worshiping with us, and be blessed.